What's good, and thank y'all for watching and staying tuned in to the Also Live channel. And you already know what time it is. Y'all really done walked into these great vibes, and now that you here, y'all really gotta understand that my vibe attracts my tribe. And those that's really function with me, y'all know how we gonna ride, y'all know how we gonna slide, point blank. Period. We pulling up, popping out. I am also legit. I am also authentic, and I'm also just outspoken for this little YouTube thing. And if you didn't know, you're really finna find out that I aspire to inspire before I expire. I not only attract love, I am love. So, with that being said, today's topic of discussion: freedom. Freedom, freedom. Freedom, freedom. We're going to really talk about that one time. But in a sense, I just want to break it down in three simple words that I feel as though is very important. That I feel as though help me and is still helping master freedom. It is helping me become more of the person that I aspire to be. Not only freedom within myself, but financial freedom. I will gain and I will attract infinite amount of financial abundance into my life. So let me just break down these three steps. But first, shall I say that I am who I am, and who I'm not, I never pretend to be. And if you don't know, you're finna find out. If you don't know who you are, you will try to find yourself through someone else. But now, today, you finna step up. You finna look within and find it in yourself, because you're great within yourself. So we're going to start out with character. And I got to say, character is one of the top 5 most important things that, as a person, as a man with morals and integrity, you got to have. You got to have character. Now, I'm going to break down a little definition that I found was on the lines of what character is. Character is built through time, from action left from self-respect. Character is built through time, from action left through self-respect. Now, how do you obtain character? You have to make the right choices. You have to keep your word. You have to understand that character involves you being someone greater than you and having the mindset to understand that. Character really involves you just being a set divine person under your own laws and regulations, because the choices you make will define the person you become to be. Point blank period. You make good choices, good things gonna happen. You make bad choices, bad things gonna happen. Shall we say more? Not only does making the right choices come with character, I feel as though sacrifice is part of character. Sacrifice builds character. Going without builds character. Understand that sometimes you will not obtain everything you want at that moment, at that minute, at that second. But it's up to you to keep going. You might have to sacrifice sleep in order to get certain things you want done, because there's just so many hours throughout the day where your regular time really can't fit in. So you might have to sacrifice sleep. You might have to sacrifice your comfortability. If you're too comfortable, then you're okay. You're content. You're stagnant. We need you to be really uncomfortable. So sacrifice will involve you being uncomfortable. Because one day you will look to see that those things that was really uncomfortable weren't really as uncomfortable as your mind made it to be. So I'm gonna just say that character falls under a certain guideline. It's like the rough draft. It's the outline of the body. It's the outline of the human. It's the outline of the man. Character starts with deciding where and what you want to be in life. With character comes integrity. Character builds morality. Character builds commitment. Character builds perseverance. Character builds motivation. Character builds determination. Without character, the outline of your body is discombobulated. It's all out of whack. It's all out of form. Without character, the links to your body can't connect because the outline hasn't been properly induced in the brain. Now, this one was something that I really had to work on because let me tell y'all, it was very hard. I'm really, as my mama, ever since I was a young boy, ever since I was a jit, ever since I was just out here, I never really seen to take accountability for my actions. I really never took accountability for my life. I never really took accountability for my choices. I never really took accountability for my actions. I always put the blame on him. I always put the blame on them. I always put the blame on whoever that wasn't me. I never took accountability for the life that I was living. I felt as though everybody else was the reason I was put in this predicament that I'm in, when in reality, not actuality, because we live in actuality life until we find within ourselves the reality. So in reality, the true cause of me not going and becoming who I wanted to be because I wasn't taking accountability for my actions. In actuality, I felt as though everyone else was the reason why I was in the predicament that I was in. I never took ownership. Now that's what I feel as though a lot of people can't seem to come to. Here's what I feel as though, here's a little breakdown of accountability. Taking ownership for your own actions, for your own choices. Getting it on your own and knowing the truth about your real self. Accountability is knowing that you can have anything you want in life if you take ownership, you take action, and you take responsibility for every choice that you make. To every left, there's a right. For every yin, there's a yang. For every up, there's a down. We have to take accountability for our own actions before we can start to put the blame on anybody else. Because once we look within ourselves, we know that we really was part of the problem. And I really fell short to this. So I'm taking the time out to tell y'all right now that accountability, if anybody really taking me wholeheartedly and listening to what I'm saying, that's one of the most, if not the top 3 things that's important for you to understand. To gaining freedom, financial freedom, just freedom in spirit, freedom in souls, freedom. Whatever your definition of freedom is. Freedom of peace. It starts with taking accountability. And we got to start there first. But that's one of them. Last but not least, which I feel is the top 2 most important things, if not number 1, about gaining and obtaining freedom. You really have to have a definite chief of aim. You have to have a purpose. Life purpose is a purpose of life. You have to have something that you're trying to obtain. Definite chief of aim. Let me break it down to you. Look at things not as they are, but as they can be. Vision adds value to everything. Your own vision must be bigger and greater than you. Now here's something that's really crazy that I can really help y'all understand that. A person whose destination is to go nowhere will surely meet his destination. How long? I don't know. But you will meet your destination if you ain't going nowhere. You will hit that wall, and it's gonna hit you hard as hell. I'm talking about hard. I'm talking about not like how your granny used to do when she tell you go get the switches off the tree out there. I'm talking about life gonna hit you harder than that. Life gonna hit you harder than the whooping that your mama gave you because she love you. That destination that you are falling short to, it's gonna hit you in the face. And I fell victim to this as well. I was lost. I felt lost, but I was never lost. I was just wandering. But it took me time to recuperate and to really understand myself. I had to get my chakras in balance. I had to get my aura bright. I had to feel within. I had to go within, because in actuality, which is the life that we live now, we deal with on the outside. I felt as though everybody else was the problem. But in reality, which is the inner self, I had to understand that it all started with me. A definite chief of aim is a desire to want to capture and obtain greater wealth, greater love, greater support, greater peace. The definite chief of aim is knowing your purpose. If you don't really know your purpose, you might as well just put yourself in the grave already, because you already dead. You stopped. You gave up. So you have to wake up. You got to come out that ground. You got to dig yourself out that. You got to get up. Definite chief of aim is the number one, if not the number one most important thing, because a purpose is always necessary. You are necessary. Everything that you've been through, everything that you have experienced is necessary. The biggest teacher in life is experience. Learning from what you've been through can help someone else gain greater experience. So there's a purpose for you. There's a purpose for me. It's a definite chief aim. You got to live within and find it within. And if you can't find it within, take time out, because it's right there. You just got to open the door. But with that being said, those are 3 things that I feel as though that should help you becoming and building the person you want to be and the freedom you want to obtain through whatever cause of freedom you want it through. Where it's freedom of speech, where it's freedom of press, freedom of peace, freedom of love, freedom of wealth, freedom of health, whatever you want, freedom of life, whatever you want freedom in. I want you to know it really starts with these 3 things. And if you understand me, you understand me. So hit that like button. Give me some hearts. Give me something. Give me some love. Show me some love, people. I appreciate y'all. I really want y'all to understand this, that I really function with y'all, and that I not only attract love, I am love. I'm putting all that I love to do into all that I love to do. Because the greater outcome is me really fulfilling my purpose of doing and making the right choices. Because I know this is only the first step to me actually reaching my pinnacle of greatness. But while I'm here on this little planet, I'm gonna live, I'm gonna find, and I'm gonna reach the highest pinnacle possible. But I know it's really only the first stage. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Speak the life you want into existence. Go out there and be great. Today you are you that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is truer than you. You can obtain anything you put your mind to. Speak loudly even if your voice shakes. You fall down 7 times, get up 8. Just like that. It don't take nothing. I am gratitude. I am peace. I honor gratitude. I honor peace. I am grateful. And I have taken accountability and ownership for all my action that I would put through. And I understand that you are not free until you have been captive by your mission in life. You are not free until you have been captive by your mission in life. I understand that I am the captain of my fate and the master of my soul. Point blank period. Freedom is really worth the struggle. Whatever your definition of freedom is, it's worth the struggle. It's worth it's worth obtaining. Freedom is worth the struggle. It's a beautiful struggle. And even though freedom is a beautiful struggle, it necessarily ain't free. And that's when the sacrifices come in play. That's when character comes into play. That's when it all falls into play. So you got to take accountability. You got to take ownership. Something that I really feel that also involves character is really having strength. Because strength really builds so much character. I feel as though I'm hearing a lot of people saying that they are depressed. When in reality, not actuality, your feelings are just deep in rest. In actuality, in this life that we see right here, they want you to feel as though you are depressed. But in reality, in inner self, your feelings are just deep at rest. They're just asleep. And it just takes you to wake them up. Stop hitting that snooze alarm on life. Stop hitting that snooze on life. Press the button. It's time to get up. You've been hitting it for too long. You've been pressing 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. You're getting too close to being comfortable to being late on life. You got to be on time. There's a disease that's really going out there. Dis-ease. Meaning negativity. Fear. It puts people at dis-ease. It just makes you feel less one with yourself. The disease that I feel as though a lot of people have gotten is laziness. They are losing strength. People giving up. They are being put at a point where they just have gotten the disease of unwillingness. They're no longer motivated. They're no longer determined. They're no longer ready to pursue life. So they have the dis-ease of not becoming and growing to the potential that they can potentially grow because they have something within them that is not helping them grow. Life challenges are really meant to mold you, redefine you, and help you build resilience. Van Gogh once said, I dream my painting and then I paint my dream. I am a visionary. And a visionary is someone who lives from their inner vision. And if you understand that, you understand greatness. Capture that moment in your life where you just see yourself at complete freedom. Just take a picture of it in your head mentally. And really just look at it every single day. Every single day. Take 10 to 15 minutes to meditate. Take 10 to 15 minutes to get in sync with yourself. Get in tune with yourself. Get your frequency on that right path with yourself. Once you do that, so much more gonna happen for you. Doors gonna open left to right. So we gotta understand this. I appreciate y'all.